I remember hearing at galas and functions and all these different events where Andy would speak that there's this one country that we're not in, which is America. And I remember asking, like, why isn't red frogs in America? Like, if there was any country around the world that needed red frogs the most, I think we'd all fair enough to say, like, America needs red frogs. One of the challenges is we actually can't be called red frogs in America because there's already another organization that has the brand rights for red frogs in the US, and they're too similar. So we are calling it Red Crew. Whether it be moving over there, no one over in America has done red frogs. It's like uncharted waters. It's completely new territory. It's literally starting from day dot again. When I think about the possibilities of seeing what we have done in the past 2 decades in Australia with red frogs, I just am overwhelmed with possibilities.
9 of the 10 young men I know Delano are charged tonight with misdemeanor hazing. 19-year-old Matthew Nard, witnesses say was the most aggressive that night. He's also accused of negligent homicide with a felon. All of you were judged in the case.
There's a culture out of control when it comes to parties and Greek life and a lot of fraternities and sororities, and there's a lot of great ones out there, but you don't have to look far at the movies and the different reports and things that you see on the news and whatnot, and you turn the TV on and you can see that there is a problem.
Constantly throughout my time in the States, I would always think, where's red frogs? Like, because it's something that I had when I was at uni, or even leavers in year 12. And so not having a resource or an organisation like that there, I think is a huge gap and a massive need for that space, particularly around, you know, that underage drinking and Greek life space. Just to have that peer support and that peer outreach would be massive, that presence in those environments where there is drinking and there can be the likelihood or the tendency for hazing, just to have other people there to sort of reduce or diffuse that as much as possible would be massive.
If you were to think of a picture of what Australia would be like without red frogs, like what would schoolies be like if red frogs wasn't there? What would a university party be like if red frogs wasn't there? Hands down, that's what America is right now. That there have been over 100 deaths in just over a decade of college students being hazed, that the rituals has led to them losing their life. Where it's basically, if you want to be accepted into our fraternity or our sorority, this is what you have to do. You have to drink a bottle of vodka. You have to have sex with 10 women tonight. You have to do this thing or that thing. And there is just so many college kids that are selling themselves short and tragically losing their life because they want to be accepted and welcomed.
Whenever people talk about college students and how annoying they are, they don't really understand that they suffer from loneliness more than any population on the planet, because they feel like their friends aren't really their friends yet. They're usually far away from their parents like I was, and a lot of times they just spend time alone in their rooms, whether studying or just hanging out or doing whatever they do. And so they look for things like fraternities, they look for things like athletic teams to pull them out of that loneliness. With how colleges are nowadays and how everyone's so shut off to political ideas, so shut off to challenging themselves with new thinking, it's all just a desperate plea for someone to love them.
You know, when we have the ability to do something about it and we choose not to do anything about it, I think we're just as guilty as anybody else. You know, I think that we need to do something about it, and we have the power to. We have an opportunity right now to see what red frogs does in Australia. We moved over across to the United States, and we need to do it.